Stay tuned at the end of the show to learn more about the 2018 Teacher's Guide to Technology by my friend Jennifer Gonzalez. Or if you want to check it out now, go to coolcatteacher.com/guide. Now on with the show. Creating a vision for your school and getting buy-in from stakeholders. Episode 259.
The 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with Vicki Davis. Every weekday, you'll learn powerful, practical ways to be a more remarkable teacher today.
Today, we're talking to Lynn Fuini-Hetton, Assistant Superintendent from the Salisbury Township in Pennsylvania. And her district has done a lot of work with one-to-one teaching and learning, has been a leader for quite some time in excellence in implementation of using technology to teach. But Lynn, right now, you're excited about what you're calling TL 2020. Tell us what that is.
TL 2020 is our teaching and learning initiative in Salisbury Township School District. We spent quite a bit of time visioning for TL 2020 and continuing to evolve our vision. And most recently, we have developed a profile of a graduate which articulates knowledge, skills, and dispositions we want our learners to have when they leave Salisbury Township School District. And if we want our learners to have that knowledge, the skills, and the dispositions, we know that we need to transform our classrooms. So we also have adopted a set of learning beliefs to help us better articulate what we want our classrooms to look like in the future as we approach 2020.
So, Lynn, I know that we can't go into it all here on the podcast, and we'll certainly link to the resources, but tell us a little bit about the knowledge, skills, and disposition. And I'm uniquely intrigued by the word disposition because, usually we talk about knowledge, often we talk about skills, but disposition is kind of a new concept for what we want in our graduates. So explain that a little bit.
So yes, dispositions is a different idea and something that we feel is really important as we consider the whole child. And we actually spent quite a bit of time visioning to determine which dispositions were most important and which dispositions are community values. We talked to parents, we talked to teachers, we talked to students, we talked to community members, and we said, what do we want this whole child to look like when they leave us? So in addition to the knowledge, core curriculum and digital literacy and financial literacy and some other ideas. In addition to the skills, creativity, creating bravely, collaboration, critical thinking, and communication, we want these dispositions. We want our learners to be curious. We want them to be risk takers. We want them to be compassionate and caring. We want them to take risks and keep trying. So be persistent and be resilient and work towards their goals, whatever their individual and personal goals might be. So we've created this pretty comprehensive profile of a graduate.
Wow. Now you have learning beliefs. Tell us about some of those learning beliefs about what you want your classrooms to look like.
Sure. So we actually learned through Education Reimagined. We read their white paper for transforming teaching and learning, and we've adopted some of their core beliefs and have identified 5 learning beliefs for us. So we want learning to be competency-based. We want learning to be personalized and relevant and contextualized. So that might mean designing learning around passion for kids, making it authentic, making sure they have purpose. We want our learners to experience agency, both our young learners and our adult learners, those teachers and leaders. And we characterize that through choice and voice in their learning, in their pathways. In addition to more, we want our learning to be socially embedded. We want our learners and their peers and educators and community members and family members to create relationships so that we can make learning a richer experience. And through that, with open-walled learning, we can engage experts and technology and resources so that the learning goes beyond the classroom walls. And one way that we can exercise that is through our one-to-one initiative. All of our learners have a device. K-1 students have access to an iPad. 2 through 12 students have access to MacBook Airs. So that device is a vehicle for helping us realize our learning beliefs and making sure that we are transforming classrooms so that the learning is competency-based and relevant, and we can engage a lot of agency.
Okay, so Lynn, this sounds like a lot. How recently did you adopt this, and where did you start? When you're a classroom teacher, and you've been a classroom teacher, you know what it's like. I mean, we're so focused on our day to day, and I got to teach this tomorrow that, making these kinds of shifts can be challenging. So first of all, when did you pass this? And then second, where did you start?
Sure. So we spent 15, 16 really doing the research, and we ran two parallel activities to do that research. One was sort of the comprehensive planning and strategic planning, where any stakeholder who wanted to give input could. And the second is what we called Innovate Salisbury Professional Learning. And we invited some teachers to uncover the uncommon dots in education. So we brought a teacher team of about 15 teachers together. We created some opportunities for teachers to use mentor texts. So anything related to Genius Hour, we had some maker spaces, some gamification, a lot of most recently published texts through practitioners and facilitators in the education world right now. Teachers looked at those texts, tried some projects, reported out, and some of that also shaped the vision, which was then delivered to our staff in actually 16, 17. So last school year, we spent a full year building a shared understanding of this vision. We had another professional learning cohort called Leading Your Salisbury. And at the end of that year, we did some assessment and we realized that we need some more time to build this vision, and people need to understand, what does this look like? What can it look like in an elementary classroom? What does agency look like in a high school classroom? How can we implement socially embedded lessons and activities? How can we open our walls so learners can have personalized and contextualized experiences? So we're actually in the second year of this vision, and we're really spending significant time right now building a shared understanding of our vision.
So, Lynn, tell me a story about something you've seen as a result of this that you go, okay, this is what it's about. This is why we created this vision.
Sure. So I could give you lots of examples, although I also want to be really transparent in saying we are very, very early on in this journey. So we have a lot of heavy lifting to do. And you're right, our teachers have a lot on their plates. And I think we are dipping our toes to move forward. One example, we have a learner-centered media station, and we have a series of courses that students can take. And we produce our own cable television show. And this year we have added two internships where high school seniors are getting credit for actually running this TV station. So that's pretty exciting that these students will have the opportunity to collaborate with outside cable experts and also produce their work along with the work of their cable TV team and their Salisbury Falcon Network team and advisor, produce it for an authentic audience, our community members.
What is the most important thing you have learned in this process about being successful with a vision and getting buy-in from stakeholders?
Sure. I think we have to build that shared understanding, and we have to provide a lot of opportunities for conversation, both about the possibilities and also the challenges and how to mitigate those challenges. Everyone has a voice, and we need to engage everyone's voice so that we can all move forward together.
Do you have one mistake that you hope people won't make?
I'm sure we've made a lot of mistakes. I think we have to really make sure that we value each individual and each role in this. So we have to make sure that we really listen to our learners, we really listen to our leaders, we really listen to our teachers as we move forward so that everyone's voice is valued.
Administrators and teachers, casting a vision for your school, knowing, what do we want graduates to look like? What do we want our classrooms to look like? What kind of environment we want to have? And I think also this conversation about dispositions is a fascinating one. I know that we've had it in many forms. When I was a child, they called it character education. I don't know if it was, we want you to be this as much as it was, this is what good character looks like. But we do need to have visions. If you don't know what you're aiming for, you'll always hit it. And so you want to be very careful and aim for the excellence and aim for the place that you want your school to go, because complacency is really a sign of decay. We're either getting better or we're getting worse. There's really no in between there. So we can't be complacent. We have to strive for excellence. We have to cast a vision. And I think Lynn has given us a lot of ideas for doing that. So thanks, Lynn.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
My favorite book on technology, The Teacher's Guide to Technology 2018 version, is here from my friend Jennifer Gonzalez with over 200 education technology tools. You can learn more at coolcatteacher.com/guide. Now, let me tell you a little bit about what's in it. She has written about over 200 education technology tools things for assessment, flipped learning, presentations, parent engagement, videos, and more. Now, in the book, you have a simple description, a screenshot, and examples of how it's used in the classroom, because remember, it's not about the tool, it's actually about what you're trying to do. But then you can click a button and there is a video that shows how the tool works. This is a fantastic and affordable guide. Just go to coolcatteacher.com/guide and check out the 2018 Teacher's Guide to Tech by Jennifer Gonzalez.
Thank you for listening to the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast. You can download the show notes and see the archive at coolcatteacher.com/podcast. Never stop learning.